Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the New Orleans Saints, Madden NFL 25, New Orleans Saints NFL franchise. I know this video is taking a long time to get out. Uh, let's just say there's a lot of life stuff going on around here, but nonetheless, we're gonna try to be way more consistent with these videos coming out down the line. But outside of that, this week is week number 5. We have to take on our first rookie quarterback, Brandon Monroe, and the New York Jets this week. Last week we got the victory over Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with both Baker and Derek Carr had quite a shootout. Kendrick Miller had quite the breakout performance in week number 5 with over 100 rushing yards, and Chris Olave doing Chris Olave things. He still only has 1 touchdown on the year, but that number is going to go up for sure, him being our number 1 receiver. Jets are currently 2-2. They split all 4 of their games, including a loss to the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. In that game, in which they got murdered by Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns for Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC. I know it's going to be a little controversial, but that's just what I think. Brandon Monroe, he's not had a bad year. 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It's just been hard for them to consistently get on the board with victories. But his best game so far has been that week 3 matchup against the Dolphins. But other than that, he's been very up and down on the year. Jets themselves, in my opinion, actually have a pretty good roster. Breece Hall at the running back position. They have Devontae Adams, who of course is one of the best receivers, a future Hall of Famer. A solid offensive line and really good players on the defensive end, including Quentin Williams, Baron Browning, C.J. Mosley, who may not be the same C.J. Mosley, but he's still C.J. Mosley. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, who's fortunately out. Marcus Epps, a former Raider. They got a really good secondary though. DJ Reed, he's going to be out for quite some time. Not a whole lot of time, but a little bit of time, which is a big loss for the Jets secondary. He hasn't really had that breakout year, but he's still the number 2 corner on this team. They got Greg Griffin to be essentially their replacement. Let's look at the injuries for our team. A lot of them, including injuries to Pete Warner, Alexander Madison, as well as Brian Breesy. We also have contract situations to worry about. We haven't really talked too much about this, and it's not something we're really going to get too deep into, but I did want to kind of eye some of the guys we could potentially bring back for year 2 of the franchise. No one really caught my eye. Brian Breesy, I know he is there, but we did decline his option back in episode 1 of the offseason, so he's not under contract, at least not for next year. And of course, as always, we do have some team meeting and conversations to really get into around the rest of the league, including a conversation with Jordan Howden, who's had quite the step up this year. I didn't really expect him to be really one of the top defensive players on this team, but he's really stepped up to the plate, and he's got a challenge that could potentially increase his development tree. He's got normal development. He's got the 2 interception on the year. He's been playing really good this year. Like I said, he surprised me with his consistent play. I expected Isaiah Simmons slightly to be a little bit better than how he has been, but he's really stepped up. Look at the stats around our league, team stat-wise, and we lead the league in offense. The Browns have the worst offensive league, and the Jets are not really that much better. But like I said, on paper, they're a way better team. They're just not performing as such. They do have the 2nd best run game in the league, which is something we're going to have to deal with, although we do defend the run pretty decently well. And we also have easily the best pass defense, one of the worst run games coming into this, even though Kendrick Miller had his breakout game. And points per game wise, we lead the NFL in scoring. So we're 3-1 for a reason. Despite the terrible game against the 49ers, we're still performing surprisingly like a top 3 team in the NFL, which on paper we definitely don't look like. We look like a bottom team. The defense on their end has not been supremely amazing. We're easily the worst team defending the pass game. We're not too bad in defending the run. Honestly, I think we're better in that front. We are around outside the bottom 10. So our run defense is solid. Our front 7 definitely, I think, is the best part of our defense. Our secondary, I think, outside of our corners, is a little shaky. even despite Jordan Howden's performance. That's having Isaiah Simmons. Simmons just hasn't really stepped up to being the guy that we've wanted him to be so far this year, but it's still early in the season. A lot of things can change. We're only 4 games into the regular season, so yeah. We also have another press conference they do every week. I do like that these are included basically every week, so it kind of keeps you kind of in the loop in your season and around the league, even though you kind of already have a feeling on how your season's going. They of course asked us if we're confident in how our team is doing, and of course I'm really confident in how this team is playing. I've expected this team to perform decently well, just not in the win columns. But 3 wins in 4 weeks is actually surprising. Now, I did say that we get to 8-9 wins. My previous count, I expected us to get about 5 or 6 wins on the regular season. Now, we are on pace to potentially get double-digit wins. Is it going to happen? I hope so. We do get a slight upgrade to everyone saying that we're going to get 8 to 9 wins. And now we're going to jump into MetLife Stadium as we go head-to-head with Brandon Monroe and the New York Jets. This should be a fun one. Now, tidbit, I did use the Jets. I did have a franchise off screen before I started recording with the Jets, and we did end up winning a Super Bowl with them, surprisingly. But I don't know, Madden felt a lot easier. But the Jets, like I said, they're a very interesting team on paper. They've got a lot of future star talent. I think the Jets could be one of the top teams in the AFC East as we get underway for week number 5. The Saints take on the Jets. It's going to be Lau White. He's going to return this kick. He's going to make it all the way to the about the 28-29. And we're going to look at Derek Carr, and he's had quite the year this year. He's definitely surprised me for sure. 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. 6 interceptions isn't supremely amazing, but Derek Carr, he can throw the football, and he's shown that this year. First play of the game, it's going to be Carr. Fake handoff, flash and fake, outside to left side to Levert for the 7-yard gain. There's Quinnen Williams out there making a tackle. And now we're looking at 2nd and 3. Carr is going to hand it off. There is Miller. Let's look at the first down. As we established, he had 103 yards last week in the victory over the Tampa Bay Bucs. He's looking to keep that streak going. Carr up the middle. That's caught by Bub Means, one of the backup receivers we have on this team. He's been getting a little bit more playing time as of late. Then he'll get the first down. 2nd and 10 now. Carr to step back up the middle. That's almost picked off. That would have been interception number 7 for Carr. And he catches a break. So now it's 3rd and 10. Carr will step back again, trying to find someone open as he's hit as he throws, incomplete. And that will force the Saints to punt the ball away on the first drive of the game. And that's Hayball. He'll kick it all the way inside the 10 to about the 8. And now we'll get our first look at Brandon Monroe. I said he's had a pretty good year, but the Jets just need to find a bit of consistency. I know it's only 4 weeks in, so we can't really say too much of that. But they're in a strong division that's really dominated by the Bills. They could potentially be the number 2 team in that division for sure, with the Dolphins struggling. And the Patriots not really having a strong roster. First throw from Monroe is on the outside. That's caught for only a gain of 1. There's Paulson Adebo who makes the play. Second play, a handoff for Breece Hall, wide open up the middle, untouched till he reaches the 2nd level, and it's a 24-yard gain and an easy first down for the running back. Monroe all alone in the backfield, up the middle, wide open again. That's caught this time. That's for 26 yards, and the Jets in just 2 plays, really 3, find themselves in Saints territory. Now flash and fake from Monroe, trying to buy some time. Open space up the middle, he won't take it. He'll find his man. And that's complete for another first down. That's Devontae Adams. No pressure from the New Orleans Saints. And if there's no pressure, you got all the time in the world to make a sandwich. Anyway, it's 2nd and 6. Monroe to step back to throw up the middle. That's caught in the end zone. Devontae Adams dives in, and the Jets will score their first touchdown of the game and take a 6-0 lead. All it took was 3 big plays, and the Jets already taken the lead. Saints do struggle on defense, as we've already established. Nice handout to Miller. Puts the defender in a spin cycle. That's a strong gain. Reaches the 45. It's now 3rd and 9. Saints need to make something happen on offense. Carr, he'll call his own number, use his legs, and he'll get the first down on his own. Carr has done a great job at calling, well, I want to say it's something different calling his number, but making decisions late as he makes a nice Joe Levert for the first down. Sometimes I'm trying to thought, it's just how it is. But now it's 2nd and 9. Running back in motion, and Carr alone in the backfield. Jets with a bit of pressure up the left side. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who has been a great number 2 receiver for the Saints so far this year. Now 3rd and 10. Carr to throw again to the left side. That's caught by Means. He'll get the first down. He'll reach the 1. That seems to happen way too often when I play this game. And that will end the first quarter. Saints down by a touchdown, but they're in the red zone. A chance to essentially tie this game up. It's been really nothing but offense, not a whole lot of strong defense. But neither of these teams are really that strong on defense. Now first to go at the 1. It's essentially an easy touchdown, but the Jets can get a huge red zone stop. And Miller is in the end zone, but there was a flag on the play. We'll have to see what it is. It's likely potentially a holding call. And it's offside on the defense, Marcus Epps, and the touchdown will stay anyways. At first I thought it was a holding call. It ended up being he was offsides, if you saw it there, but you know, I suck at editing. But he was offsides by a slight margin. But now just offense back on the field, and he gets sacked. And it's Carl Granderson who leads this team in getting to the quarterback. And forces the 2nd and quite a distance. Nice throw to the right side. That's incomplete. And McKinstry makes a huge play. It's now 3rd and 18. We suck on 3rd down a lot of the time, and there it goes. He breaks a tackle, gets the first down, fights for extra yards, and I guess I jinxed it. Saints struggle heavily on preventing 3rd down conversions, and that's just one of those times. It was a nice play. Its Jets are now in Saints territory yet again. 3rd and 1. Hand out to the fullback. That won't work. And it's a loss of 1. Nice play by Christian Boyd, the backup defensive tackle. And the Jets are going to decide to go for it on 4th and 2. Love the aggressiveness. Monroe to the right side in traffic. Incomplete. And the Jets will get the ball right back to the Saints on the turnover on downs. Not an amazing throw to make. And it was actually almost picked off as well. Would it have been a pick 6? I highly doubt it. He doesn't have the speed. But definitely was an interception there to be made. Now 1st and 10 near Jets territory. Handoff to Miller. Bounces to the outside. Breaks the tackle. He'll get the first down. Stopped at the 44. Essentially went across the street. 2nd and 1. Carr, he'll step back. Time to throw at the middle. That's picked off. Intercepted. That's not a great throw. It's in double coverage. I thought he was open. He was not. Shaquille Griffin makes a big play. He jumped the route. And that's going to happen a lot of the time. It's not a terrible throw, but not an amazing throw. If he had put more air on it, maybe he would have had an opportunity. But that's interception number 7 for Carr. And the Jets will get the ball back. Make it seem like that turnaround downs likely never happened. First place, a handoff to Hall, breaks a tackle. Great blocking, bounces to the outside. Outside the numbers, no one is behind him. And in one fell swoop, the Jets retake the lead. And sometimes that's all it takes. Broken tackles have been a huge problem for this Saints team. And with the extra point, it's 14-7 in a 74-yard run by Breece Hall. One of the top players also on this offense as well, I might add. But, I mean, if you watch NFL, you technically already know this. We go back on the side of the Saints. See if they can potentially try to tie this game up. Play action fake by Carr, trying to buy some time. He'll just check it down to Foster Moreau, the backup tight end, behind Taysom Hill, or Joe Levert really, but Taysom Hill's more of a fullback. But now a new set of downs now for the Saints. And that's picked off as well. Hit as he throws. Not ideal. Tried to get rid of it. Tried to put a little more air. It's Jordan Fuller this time. And that's the second pick on the game already for the New York Jets. And that's now interception number 8 for Carr on the season. Can't really fault that one. Try to get rid of it. And when it comes to Madden, if you get hit as you throw it straight to the defender. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's Madden for you. As Monroe is going to go deep, and it's picked off in the end zone. And it's Jordan Howden who gets the pick. I like the aggressive play. Brandon Monroe, one-on-one coverage. It can only happen one of 3 ways. Saints get the ball back. Nice hand off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. As he'll be pushed out of bounds. And there's a flag on the play. It's a legal block in the back by MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So we'll delete that first down, but it's 1st and 7. It was 1st and 7. Now it's 3rd and 5. Nice pass to Joe Levert for the first down. By the way, Howden, that's his 2nd interception on the year. I also did want to point that out. We just talked about him improving, and he just restarted development. Now it's 3rd and 2. Handoff to Miller, and that's another first down. Miller's really stepped up since Madison's been injured. Kind of love to see it because originally I planned on starting him over Madison, but Madison outplayed him during the preseason. 1st and 10. Carr losing time. He's hit as he throws. Got rid of it. So it's incomplete. 3rd and 10 now with 7 seconds on the play clock. Carr trying to buy some, airs it out, and it's picked off for the 3rd time in the 2nd quarter. And it's Marcus Epps, the former Raider. I'm not really sure why the game made me throw that like that. But he just put way too much air on it. There was enough time for Epps to just get there and pick it off. So 3 interceptions on the game for Carr. Breece Hall is going to break through, get to the 2nd level, and it's pushed out of bounds as he makes it all the way to the 35-yard line. And he is unfortunately injured. It's not him, but Garrett Wilson. He'll go to the tunnel. 2:54 left in the first half of the game. And it's a play action fake. Monroe with time, goes it deep, it's picked off. And do you like Kool-Aid? Because it's Kool-Aid McKinstry, his first pick of the season, and he'll reach the 18-yard line. I've been waiting for him to get his first interception of the season, and he's finally got it. And Monroe throws his 2nd deep pass interception of the game. Now 2nd and 9 now. Carr with time, and he'll just get pushed out of bounds. Didn't throw the ball away. Now it's 3rd and 10. The Jets could get a good stop here and get themselves good field position to close out the 2nd quarter, but Miller says no. Runs up the middle, is untouched till he reaches past the line of scrimmage. Now 1st and 10. Now a halfback screen for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He'll step out of bounds after getting the first down and getting a lot of extra yards to go with it. 1:20 left in the first half. It's 2nd and 4. Saints trying to get into the end zone. Carr, he'll run right out the pocket, and he'll go deep into the trenches to the 24-yard line, preventing the Saints from having to use their timeouts. 2nd and 5 now. It will Helaire in motion, wide open on the left side. That's Chris Olave. And he's in the end zone for his second touchdown of the season. And the Saints look to tie things up late in the first half of the game. I don't know what the Jets defense was doing, but you can't leave a guy like Olave wide open. That's just room for disaster. 17 seconds left in the first half, possibly the last play. The Jets still have another timeout to use if they want to. Up the middle, wide open. That's a first down play. Jets will use their last timeout with about 10 seconds left to go. They'll kick the field goal from here. They have enough time to potentially call one or two more plays. The kick is almost blocked, but it doesn't matter because it's wide to the right. I don't agree with the Jets' decision to kick it right then and there. I mean, take your points, but they had a chance to potentially have one more play. So the Saints, with 6 seconds, will try to do just that. They'll throw it to the outside for Levert. They won't get the first down, but they'll get a little bit closer to the end zone. And they're not in any room to kick a field goal, so the Jets will just, or the Saints, sorry, will try to make a play into the end zone. Carr steps back, and he's hit as he throws, so it doesn't matter. And that ends the first half of the game. It's tied at 14 apiece with a total of 5 turnovers in this game in the first half alone. 3 of them by Carr, 2 of them by Brandon Monroe. It's just been very sloppy on the offensive side of the football. And not often happening for the Saints side since they're 3-1 for a reason. But look around the league. 2 of probably the worst teams in the NFC, the Panthers and the Packers, go head to head. The Panthers looking for their first win of the NFL season. They lead the Packers 14-7. The Buffalo Bills, they're up 21-7 on the Dolphins. It's the Buffalo Bills. They're crazy. They're cracked. They've only lost 1 game up to this point. The Dolphins have struggled this year, including losing to us, as you already know. And then we have New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons we'll see next week in Week 6. They trail the Patriots 17-7. The Falcons have struggled a little bit this year, but still, I still see them as the best team in the NFC South. Look at this team. It's really been nothing but big plays in this game on offense. Not a whole lot of consistent offense. The defenses have stepped up. As I already mentioned, there have been 5 total turnovers in this game alone. And both teams kind of need to change things up, as the Jets will lead off the second half with the football first. It's a touchback. We'll have to see how either of these teams really respond. This is now 2nd and 9 for the Jets. Hand off to Breece Hall. He will only get about 3 or 4. Just need a first down. Monroe steps out of the pocket and he'll throw the ball away to prevent a sack. So nice 3 and out to start off for the New Orleans Saints. Kickoff to Lyle White. He'll bounce it to the right side. He manages to break away. He'll get past the 40 on a decent punt return. Not often you really see some good punt returns in the NFL. Now Saints will get their first possession of the second half. Handoff to Miller. Bounces outside again. He'll get past midfield. Reaches the 47-yard line. He's got 86 yards on the day already, with a touchdown under his name. 1st and 10. Jet sweep fake. Goes to the right. That's caught by MVS. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, as he'll get the first down. Nice big play. They reach inside the 20-yard line. As I mentioned, Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been a great number 2, but Derek Carr has made some pretty tough throws in a Saints uniform. Carr, with time, kicks it to Olave. He will not get past first down marker. Tried to go outside. Doesn't work, 30 inches, but just hand it off to the 3rd string running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That should be a flag. Mosley just popped CEH. That should be an extra 10 yards and a guaranteed touchdown, but instead he'll hand it back to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Loses the football near the end zone. It's picked up by the Jets. This is his 2nd fumble of the season. Remember, he had one in the first game of the NFL season against the Dolphins. As look at it again, he gets smothered. I don't think it was truly a fumble. I think he landed on his back. It would be ruled not a fumble. So 2nd and goal, hand off to Miller. He won't have anywhere to go as the defense gets to him. And we have an injury on the field. It's Foster Moreau, the backup tight end. He'll sit on the sideline. He's limping. Hopefully he's okay. But 3rd and goal, the Jets need a stop here. Play action fake. Carter buys some time. He'll just check it down to Miller. Stays in bounds. And he'll reach the end zone. That's his 2nd all-purpose touchdown of the game. And the Saints will retake the lead. Actually, I don't even think they had the lead. But either way, they have the lead now. 20-14. The field goal kick is up and good. And it's 21-14. That was a really good drive by New Orleans Saints. The catch a break, avoiding that fumble. And now here's a potential return here. Caught around the 10, stopped at the 27. And now we're going to look back at this Jets offense, who failed to do much of anything on the first drive of the second half. Quick throw up the middle that's caught wide open underneath, 1st down. Shaq Thompson was there. The defense almost got there, but not enough. 2nd and 7 now. They're going to choose to play action. Monroe. Grandison falls wide open on the left side. That's caught. And that's Robinson. He'll get the 1st down and a lot more. If Grandison doesn't fall there, it's likely he potentially gets the sack, or at least bothers the throw. Instead, it's 2nd and 7 at the Saints 17. Monroe to throw in the end zone. That's incomplete. Batted down by Paulson Adebo. Looking for his 2nd interception of the game, or of the season. Hasn't had one since week 1 against the Dolphins. 3rd and 7 now. And need a completion. They're going to get it. And he's in the end zone. And that's caught for a touchdown. And the the Jets look to tie the game up at 21 apiece. They're going to make the extra point, and they do. Monroe's got 2 touchdowns now. Quick throw up the middle. That's for Olave. He's short of the 1st down marker. It's now 3rd and 1. Saints looking to get the completion. Handoff to Miller. He almost didn't get it, but fights for some extra yardage. And there's your 1st down there for Kendre Miller, who's been pretty excellent in this game. 3rd and 1. Handoff to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He will not get it. Marcus Epps makes a big play. The Saints this time are going to go for it on 4th and inches. Pretty risky. They are around midfield. And they're going to QB sneak it for Derek Carr. He gets the 1st down. With 1:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. A 4th down conversion. You set it down at midfield. Man in motion. They'll hand this one off to Valdez-Scantling. And a nice 9-yard gain. Not a 1st down, but a good run nonetheless. 2nd and 1. Possibly the last play of the 3rd quarter. Carr to step back to throw up the middle. And that's a nice leadoff pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling up the middle in coverage. That will close out the 3rd quarter, but the Saints with good field position could guarantee a field goal here. Play action fake, trying to buy some time. He is sacked. 2nd of the game. Loss of 9. Not what you want to see. It is not C.J. Mosley. 2nd and 19. Up the middle, Olave makes the catch. He'll get those 10 yards back. But it's 3rd and 9. And he's shaking up on the play. He'll have this on the sideline, favoring his ankle. It's not ideal losing your best receiver. So now I have to make some changes. 3rd and 9, another play action fake. It's been working up the middle by Valdez-Scantling, who makes his way into the end zone. And that's a touchdown, the 3rd on the day for Derek Carr. I don't think it's the 3rd. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. But Marcus Valdez-Scantling, that's, I believe, his 2nd on the year. And it's now a 28-21 game. Olave He has an ankle bruise. He will be okay, thankfully. He'll be able to come back in the game. But now 1st and 10 for the Jets. They're trailing by 7. That pass is almost intercepted by a Debo. Had too much air on it. Now 3rd and 10. Play action fake from Monroe. Has some time. Goes deep. He's got his man. He's going to win the foot race and then fire back with a touchdown of their own. It's not Xavier Gibson, but Alex Robinson, who made the big play a little earlier in the game. And the Jets, with the huge shot downfield, tied this game up. He beat out Kool-Aid McKinstry. Not supremely ideal. The extra point is going to be good, so it's now a 28-28 game. We found ourselves having a shootout in the second half. It's basically like we never left the first half. Carr to throw. He's going to go to the right for Chris Olave, who finds himself back in the game. He's going to reach the second level and be tackled around the 40. Carr 25 for 37 on the day. Without those interceptions, it'll be 25 for 34. You can't know any interceptions in this league. Hand off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Can't find anywhere to go once his teammate loses 3 yards. It's now the Saints at 2nd and 13. Carr with some time up the middle. That's caught by Olave again. And when in doubt, you go to your best receiver. And we know who that guy is. 3rd and 8. 8 minutes left. Play action fake again. The Saints have been working with that. Handoff. Carr calls his own number. He'll be pushed out of bounds. It's 4th and inches. Do the Saints go for it again? And they will. Doesn't look like a QB sneak this time around. It's a handoff to Miller, and he'll get past a line of scrimmage and get a little bit extra. And we've got another injury on the field. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire favoring his wrist. He'll go to the tunnel. Toss play for Miller. Finds his way into the end zone as he goes inside. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game, and the Saints will regain the lead. As I've already mentioned, Miller has definitely stepped up these past few weeks with Madison being out. Now it's 34-28 with 8 minutes left of the game. They just had that big play earlier. They've been winning off big plays, and they'll do it again. Hugo Amadi gets beat one-on-1, and he is tackled at around inside the 10. I don't know what happened there, but Hugo Amadi just got torched. And now the Jets inside the 10 off of one play. I just mentioned how they've been winning off of big plays today. And they try to tie this game up. Jet sweep play. The hesitation will allow the Saints to make a play. I feel like if it doesn't hesitate there, then they do score. But now they're inside the 5. It's 2nd and goal. Monroe will throw. Running away, trying to buy some time. Manages to somehow get rid of it despite the pressure being in his face. And it's still 3rd and goal and still inside the 5 at the 3. Brandon Monroe to the right side, wide open, near the out of bounds area. And it's another touchdown for Xavier Gibson. And the Jets will once again look to tie this ball game. It was good coverage up until it wasn't. 6 minutes left. Anything can happen. Your handoff to Miller. Nice gain up the middle. Gets past midfield for another 1st down. The Saints have found themselves in a lot of close games, and this is no different. Another handoff. This is to Miller again. Bounces outside, and he'll get another 1st down. He surpassed 100 yards at this point already, so he keeps his 100-yard game rushing yard streak alive as he reached 5 minutes left of the game. As Carr will throw, it's a screenplay. Miller again. He'll reach past 1st down. Another spin move. And another 1st down for Miller. 4 minutes to go. The Saints do slightly have the advantage in terms of time and positioning. Carr to throw. He'll go deep to the right. Somehow it's caught. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire who makes the play. That's a risky throw. But Carr can make it work. First and goal to the left side. That's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. It's Lyle White, the rookie receiver. And the Saints will once again retake the lead. With under 5 minutes left to go. And the extra point, will they be able to hit it? The extra point is up and good, and it's 42-35 with 3:40 left. Great drive by the New Orleans Saints and Derek Carr, and of course Kendre Miller, who was responsible for most of it, really of it all. And now 3rd and 4, time is ticking for the Jets. Monroe, he'll throw to the left side. That is caught despite the coverage. For a first down, they keep their drive alive. Closing in on the 2-minute warning. You want to call this play before it lands? They will. Monroe will try to throw again to the right side. That's incomplete. Coverage was tight, but it does save them from the 2-minute warning, so it allows them to get one more play. Quick throw. That's incomplete. I don't know what happened there. It seems he just missed his target. Now we're under 2 minutes. Jets need a touchdown to potentially tie this game up. They got a lot of work to do. Monroe to throw to the left side. That is caught by Robinson for the first down. I don't know if he got both his feet in. It looked like in real time he didn't. Closely, it seemed that he was able to catch it. As you look again, I think it looks like he was able to catch it before he reached the out of bounds marker. So the play will stand. 2nd and 1 now off that 9-yard completion. The Jets will use their first timeout. 1:49 left to go in the game. Or in regulation, I should say, not the game. Now 2nd and 1 for the Jets. Monroe, of course, will throw again. He misses the throw. That's wide open. Now it's 3rd and 1 now. You just need this. You could obviously get a first down with the run play and use a timeout. But you don't want to waste those. Up the middle, that's caught again. That's another first down. Play for Devontae Adams this time around. Jets don't use their second timeout. That's smart. Up the middle, that's picked off. And it's Paulson Adebo getting his 2nd pick of the season. And that might just close things out for the New York Jets. Monroe's made some, in my opinion, some pretty risky throws here. He's been throwing the ball deep a lot, which you gotta respect. But that just was not the play. But sometimes you gotta go to your best receiver. I say it all the time. Saints with the ball, a first down will essentially end it. Handoff to Miller. He is smothered at the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 now again to Miller. No gain. The Jets use their last timeout. So it's all or nothing here. Handoff to Miller up the middle. He'll get the first down. 150 plus yards, and that should close things out for the New Orleans Saints. And they will now win 42-35 and jump to 4-1 on the year. And the Jets will fall under 500 for the first time this year. 2-3. A shootout in the second half. 6 total turnovers in this game. 3 by both Carr and Monroe. But they turn it around in the second half with all the touchdowns they've gotten. Brandon Monroe did end up getting 4. Despite the stats, I think both of them played pretty well despite the interception. Brandon Monroe with obviously the risky interception at the end of the game. Breece Hall and Miller did duke it out. I'd argue that Hall wouldn't have that many yards outside of that big run, but we're not going to downplay Breece Hall like that. I still think he played a pretty solid, phenomenal game. Kendre Miller with 2 touchdowns on the game. Alex Robinson with a big performance for the New York Jets. Surprised Devontae Adams didn't do a whole lot. Xavier Gibson did play pretty well, if you ask me. Chris Olave obviously led it for us on our side of the field. And Marcus Valdez-Scantling played a huge role, How about 18 tackles for C.J. Mosley? Definitely was involved. And 6 turnovers, all from different guys. It's kind of insane. Granderson with another sack. Chuck Arnold with his first. We do have more injuries on the field. Includes Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He'll be out for realistically the next 2 games when you count them. Which unfortunately, we still have a lot of injuries on the field. We still have a lot of guys who are going to miss the game against the Falcons. But we do have the bye week, week 7, which should allow some guys to heal up. But we are talking about Jordan Howden. He did have the depth trait game here. He did have the 1 interception. He did play pretty decently well to potentially move his upgrade up to star development, which he will, which is a huge plus for his upgrading. Let's look at the records around the league. The Ravens and Cowboys are the only undefeated teams left. We are currently in the top 10, leading the NFC South by a bit of a margin over, of course, the Falcons and the Bucs. The Carolina Panthers are struggling. Look at some games around the league. The Denver Broncos had a close battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cowboys came up on top, still one of the top teams in both the NFL and the NFC. And they'll remain just as such with the win here and go on with over 100 yards receiving. Buffalo Bills win again, 35-17, 2 passing touchdowns for Josh Allen. He's been the star. He's also had 2 rushing touchdowns, so 4 all-purpose touchdowns for Josh Allen. Week number 5. As the Dolphins continue to struggle, and the Bills still look to be crazy high. Jacksonville Jaguars actually had a close matchup against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. 9 combined passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes thinks he had 4 touchdowns in this game, including 2 that went to Rashee Rice. And he did have 1 to Travis Kelce because Travis Kelce is his best friend. But the Chiefs will win that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, although they did take them to the wire, no doubt about it. Defense honestly looked better for the Kansas City Chiefs. Carolina managed to get their first win of the NFL, or the 2025 NFL season, dogging the Green Bay Packers 28-7. The Packers sure are looking the same as the Aaron Rodgers days. Struggled quite a bit, especially offensively, where Nick Willis threw 4 interceptions and 2 to Quandre Diggs. The Atlanta Falcons we'll see next week. They lose to New England Patriots, who will also be seeing this year in week number 8 after our bye week. They'll lose 24-17. The Falcons have looked kind of up and down as well. They're still a strong contender in the NFC South. I firmly believe. I'm going to keep saying it just because I think it's true. The Tennessee Titans, they'll lose to CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Turnover numbers were there for both teams, similar to our game, where turnovers were just a big commodity, and it was, at the end of the day, somewhat of a shootout. The only difference is, I don't know, there's no difference. But the Tennessee Titans do lose that game. Chicago gets dogged. Justin Fields best his former team, showing them this is why you shouldn't have gotten rid of me. They went 33-7. They just completely destroyed Chicago. Chicago's looking like the worst team in the NFL right now, which, I mean, is about as reasonable as it can get. Also, Patrick Queen responsible for 3 of those interceptions, and TJ Watt with 3 sacks. They killed Chicago for sure. And also coming back, it was 2 interceptions for Patrick Queen. But the Eagles actually ended up losing to New York Giants. The Giants get their first one of the NFL season, winning 28-25. And Lawrence House with one of his best performances of the NFL season so far, despite the struggles that he's had this year. And we had a high scoring affair between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, as San Francisco went 41-34. These 2, I'd say, are realistically the best teams in the NFC West. Sorry, Rams. And apologies to the Cardinals, but the Cardinals suck, if you ask me. They went down to the wire. And speaking of the Rams lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 13-10, one of the lowest scoring games we've seen so far this year. Both Mayfield and Mark O'Neal with realistically the only touchdown Giants and the I forget who the other team was by heart, but they're no longer in the winless teams in the league. The Bills currently lead the AFC East. We saw that the Jets are right there. We just beat them. Chiefs, of course, lead the AFC West because realistically, catching up to the Chiefs, I don't know. It's about in the NFC North between, of course, the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, and Bears are struggling. We play the Falcons next week, so this will be a big game to maybe determine the NFC South as we currently lead that division. The Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders are fighting out in the NFC East. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the other divisions. The NFC West is led by the 49ers. The Seahawks lost. They are in quite a bit. But that'll do it for week 5 of the 2025 New Orleans Saints franchise. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know that I haven't really been releasing videos like that lately, but like I said, I'm definitely going to try to be more consistent. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.